Even before this pandemic, our education system has already been facing a lot of problems, and this global health crisis worsened the struggles of the affected sectors.
Seeing how things are going so far and the feedback from the students and the educators themselves, it's going really rough.
Ang pagiging worth it ng pag-enroll sa parating na school year ay nakabatay sa kung gaano karaming estudyante ang may access dito.
Online education costs so much and our parents aren't earning. How are we supposed to pay?
There are just some concerns na hindi naman masasolve through online classes, unlike sa face-to-face learning na tinatawag natin.
I am still not prepared to think about academic requirements when we are in the middle of a pandemic where my health and the safety of my family are at high risk.
Having said that though, I still believe that an academic freeze is not a viable option right now because the students, to have a sense of normalcy, they actually need interactions with their fellow classmates as well as their teachers.
Worth it pa na mag-enroll? Opo, worth it naman na mag-enroll po ang mga bata ngayon dahil kailan pa natin kailangan i-enroll ang bata? Paano kung matagalan pa bago makadiscover ng vaccine at gamot? Kailangan ba itigil natin ang pag-aaral kapag sa mga ganong klaseng mga pandemic? Kailangan gumawa tayo ng paraan para magpatuloy ang pag-aaral.
I still believe that learning can continue as it is a basic human right, essential in learning are given priority this time of pandemic.
But then again, I just hope na sana talaga our leaders would come up with a much more sound policies and of course effective.
Because under the learning continuity plan of the Department of Education, the burden of opening of schools is passed to the school administrators and teachers without ensuring the accessibility of quality education for all.
Ngunit ang panawagan natin ay isang inklusibong solusyon, makatao at makatarungang pagpapasya na isaalang-alang ang lahat ng kapakanan ng mga mag-aaral upang matiyak na walang maiiwan.
Sa muling pagbubukas ng mga klase ngayong darating na Agosto through online classes, nakikita natin na ang edukasyon natin ngayon ay isa ng pribilehiyo.
The Department of Education should reconsider their decision and keep in mind that education is a right and should not be a privilege.
Because there are going to be several students left behind and we can't settle for that.
Personally, the challenges that I'll be facing this school year will be the use of the gadgets, the computer, the internet connection, because it's going to be very difficult to be online for very long periods of time.
As a working student, I will not have an access to internet kung di pa ako pinagdalhan ng wifi o ng modem ng company na pinagtatrabahuhan ko.
Wala kaming internet. Wala kaming gadget. Baka mahirapan kami talaga.
That is not the type of education that students deserve.
One student without access is one too many.
An education that's only for a few isn't education at all.
Tomorrow's teaching and learning, a student-centered learning. Tick tock, tick tock. The alarm keeps on beeping. Oh my, I am late. It is almost 7:30 in the morning. I'm going to miss the flag ceremony. I fix myself, wear my uniform, get my things, and ready to go to school. Mom, I'm on my way to school. I love you. I open the door with excitement, but suddenly it turns into disappointment. I almost forgot that the virus is already spreading out throughout the world. Looking at the scenario outside, it made me sick.
Today, the DOH is confirming that a 38-year-old female Chinese patient under investigation, or PUI, is positive.
It's been 2 years since COVID-19 broke out and most countries around the world were forced to temporarily close educational institutions to reduce the spread of COVID-19. However, the Department of Education implemented modular distant learning, where the teacher will distribute modules to the parents with the guidance of the parents at home. The learning is continuous even without the teacher's guidance and only at home. The pandemic outbreak last 2019 brought huge disruption to the economy of the country, as a recommendation of World Health Organization, President Duterte decided to lock down the nation, prohibits the travel bans, as well as the academic closure nationwide to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Many institutions are forced to close their school premises due to the health threat. However, the Department of Education doesn't want to stop learning because of the pandemic. That's why the department chair implemented modular distant learning, where the teacher will distribute modules to the parents and with the guidance of the parents at home. The learning is continuous even without the teacher's guidance and only at home.
Day of classes. I woke up in different atmosphere. Everyone is busy doing their stuff. Here I am checking my phone for update, guidelines and instructions sent by the teacher. As the students settled in modular approach, I start answering my module, but then I found it hard to understand. I asked my mom to help me, but she said I'm busy. I asked Ate and Kuya, but they're also busy. Looking at the situation, who's the person I could ask to understand this module? Looking at myself, I cried. Everyone is busy. Since that day, I started to seek information using Google, videos, and somehow my classmates also helped me.
Present time, since distance learning was implemented, it was not easy, both sides, for the student and teachers, as well as might be burden for the parents. Support throughout the child's learning journey must reinforce positive action as well as positive discipline for appropriate child's behavior. Explore, seek information for better understanding. Watch them out while constructing the knowledge. Child to establish routine. 2. Meet the schedule and know the teacher for better communication and assistance when it is needed.
The COVID-19 pandemic brought a lot of changes in our society, and one of that is shifting face-to-face classes to modular distance learning. So the influential learning theory in this new normal was the behavioralism, cognitivism, and constructivism, where the behavioralism is the stimuli response. The learning is based on the idea that all behaviors are acquired through conditioning that occurs through interaction with the environment, while the cognitivism is the flow of knowledge, where the learners process all the information that they gain from the environment. And lastly, the constructivism, where the knowledge is constructed by adapting new information based on the previous experience. So these three theories is the foundation of learning. As a parent and adult, we should provide a safe and nurturing environment at home where we create a room for them for holistic development this pandemic. In simple way, teaching them how to plant, how to do simple chores, making them help in the kitchen, take care of their body, and many more activities which help them grow and acquire skills for lifelong learning this pandemic.
Constructivism theory says that learners construct their own knowledge, meaning the young learners' experiences will allow them to reflect and build up their own representations as well as incorporate new informations into their pre-existing knowledge.
Asking the learners about their day at the school.
Allowing them to narrate their experiences while playing, and
Read a story book with them and stop at the specific scenes and allow them to say or narrate what the next scene is. Behaviorism theory is a theory of learning based on the idea that all behavior are acquired through conditioning. Conditioning occurs through interaction with the environment. Example, ways to correct and allow the young learners know the right and wrong.
praise. Praising the young learners when they finish their meals or do a good deed.
Reward system. Reward them when they finish their chores or when they did a good job at school, such as treating them ice cream on their way home.
Positive reinforcement. Hug them, pat them on their head or on their back, and tell other parents how proud you are.
Feedback. Praising, communication, and explaining can help the child in doing the right things and understand their wrongdoings and changing them in a good ones.
Positive theory is an approach to psychology that aims to explain human behavior by understanding your thought processes. 5 principles and examples are ways to incorporate cognitive theory.
Asking the learners about the day at the school, let them tell or dictate the story that like to do or play in their childhood days. When they are not in school, will help in remembering principle.
For understanding principles, the parents can make a to-do list, engage or teach the young learners about the budgeting procedures, and teach the young learners by showing pictures and asking what the picture shows, and ask them to construct simple words or simple sentences about the picture shows.
For applying, create a game which the parents can incorporate the learner skills. For example, playing outdoor or indoor games, reading, and solving puzzles.
For evaluating principles, the parents can teach the young learners the cause and effect is a simple way of interpreting and analyzing the data or the informations, as well as the parents can also use some sorting toys.
And last but not the least, creating. Engage the learners in the artistic way to nurture and develop their artistic mind. Some activity for this is allowing the learners to illustrate or draw their own personality. Allow them to discover different ways to draw, and most of all, allow the learners to show their creative minds by letting them to do the activities on their own unique ways.